During a call with nearly 100 players Friday night. On the 90-minute call, Irving reportedly made the case that resuming the season would be detrimental to the players' work on social justice and police reform. Dwight Howard agrees. In a statement to CNN, he said in part, "I agree with Kyrie. Basketball or entertainment, period, isn't needed at this moment and will only be a distraction. Sure, it might not distract us, the players, but we have resources at hand the majority of our community don't have. And the smallest distraction for them can start a trickle-down effect that may never stop. Especially with the way the climate is now, I would love nothing more than to win my very first NBA championship, but the unity of my people would be an even bigger championship that's just too beautiful to pass up." Steve, it's great to see you. I'll start with you. What is your reaction to what Kyrie and Dwight Howard and several other NBA players have said, suggesting that they should not return and resume the season?
I completely disagree with them, and I think they sound foolish. Let's get this out of the way right now. I've been waiting to talk about this, and I can't wait to get into this more heavily. You're Kyrie Irving and you're Dwight Howard. If you are talking about not going back to work because of the coronavirus, nothing to talk about. Everybody has the right to feel the way that they feel in terms of their own individual health, the health of their loved ones, who they're going to be near, all of that stuff. That is a separate subject. But to sit up there and imply that at this particular moment in time that sports should not exist and we shouldn't be going back to work because of racial inequality, prejudice, police brutality, et cetera, these are things that have been going on for decades, if not more. Some would say centuries, obviously, when we're talking about racial oppression. So if that's the case, then there was no reason for anybody, whether it's your forefathers, your ancestors, or anybody in between, to ever show up to work. The reality is that you have a job to do. If you're Kyrie Irving, you're hurt, you're sitting out anyway in all likelihood. You're Dwight Howard, you want to pass up the opportunity to win a championship for the first time because you want to bring attention and awareness to this? Fine. That's no reason not to show up to work. The fact that racial oppression has existed, it's going to exist after this summer. It's going to exist next year. It's going to exist a year after, a year from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Anybody in our society that thinks this thing is going to be completely eradicated is fooling themselves. You're always going to have to deal with these things. So that is not an excuse not to show up to work.
What is your reaction to the Bucks deciding not to come out to play and then the NBA consequently postponing the entire slate of games tonight?
I'm incredibly proud of all parties involved. First of all, I want to give major props to Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, because he stepped up in a big way. I think Mark Spears was right on the money. If he didn't want to do this, it would not have happened, or it would have been a really huge roadblock or impediment to it happening. Yeah. Obviously, the networks are going to lose money potentially. That means the league is going to lose money. That means individual owners are going to lose money. And as a result, they're going to ensure that the players lose money. Nevertheless, the players said, damn that, the hell with it, as LeBron James tweeted, it with words, the F word, because I can't repeat that over the airwaves. The bottom line is taking that kind of position is basically acknowledging that you recognize the potential sacrifice that comes along with it. It's going to affect you potentially hugely monetarily, and you don't give a damn. Something needs to be done, and anything that it takes to bring attention to the plight of African-American men in this nation, you're going to stand up and fight no matter what. And if you've got to go down, you've got to go down swinging.
When you're talking about Kyrie Irving, listen, Greeny, if you take Kyrie Irving brain and put it in a bird right now, guess what that bird is going to do? Mm-hmm. It's going to fly backwards. Because Kyrie right now, he's confused. He's showing this lack of leadership. And so, in my opinion, when you look at Kyrie, I'm okay with you changing your mind and having a different way of thinking and saying, you know what, we need to make a stance and sit out. But what is the plan after that? He didn't have one. So once again, that showed his lack of leadership. So Kyrie Irving, right now, you are the distraction. You are the distractor. You distracting the whole situation. So it's crazy to me because, you know, you come out and you do something separately without talking to your president, Chris Paul, or consulting with Michelle Roberts, and go off and do something totally different and get a group of guys together and say, let's sit out without a plan. It makes zero sense, and I totally disagree with Kyrie Irving.
The fact that they have gone to the step of boycotting this game, Perk, what comes to mind for you?
Well, it's a message, and not only a message to America and not only a message to the world, but it's a message to Wisconsin that they will not stand for this, that they want justice. They want justice for him and they want these cops to be, you know, convicted. They want justice, and they're tired of it. And I strongly believe that it was a powerful move by the Milwaukee Bucks, being that this incident, like you said, happened in Wisconsin. So, I mean, you know, kudos to them for standing for what they believe in. And Rachel, you know, I'm just as surprised, and I have so many questions that I want answers to.
Like what, Perk? What are some of your questions right now?
Well, one is that, you know, are they just sitting out just this Game 5? Are they leaving for the series? Are they done for the entire playoffs? Another question is that are the teams that were fouled or scheduled to play behind them, are they going to play today? Because here's the thing, right? If the Houston Rockets, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Portland Trail Blazers decide that they are going to play, I don't want them to be frowned upon because they did choose to play and that Milwaukee did not. You see, that's the communication part where I would love for everyone to be on the same page. So that's my question. Are those teams have they decided whether or not they're going to play or not is a huge question for me.
Skip, what is happening here with Kyrie Irving? And I don't know, maybe it was the crisis that we've seen unfold over the last little over 3 weeks, is that Kyrie Irving is saying for 400 years, our cries have been unheard. Our tears have gone unwiped. And no light has been shined on us bright enough for someone to see us. And so this is a moment, you know, there's a saying in politics, Skip, never let a great crisis go to waste. And Kyrie Irving is saying there is something going on that we've got a groundswell of support.
Yep.
And I'm afraid that if we go back and start playing basketball, all of that will be for naught. And I don't know if we've ever seen the groundswell of support around the world like this.
No.
And Kyrie doesn't want that moment to go to waste.
He does not.
LeBron is saying, Kyrie, I promise you, it will not go to waste. We're gonna keep our foot on the gas. We're gonna keep the pressure on. But Kyrie, what you're trying to do, you're not going to unrace 401 years in 4 months. Yes, there are going to be some changes, Skip. Yes, you can say, okay, no chokeholds, and they're going to have to get this qualified immunity done away with, Skip. But you're going to have to get people in office, also voted into office, that have your vested interest in mind so you can, look, this is what we did now. You said this is what you're going to do. We're holding you to it. And that's what LeBron's point is. LeBron says we can do two things. Kyrie doesn't believe you can do two things. Kyrie believes that this opportunity will go to waste if they were to start playing basketball. I'm not necessarily sure I agree with that.
What I gather is that the NBA players saying this is not business as usual. They said, although we appreciate taking down a few monuments, renaming a few schools, a few buildings, taking these Confederate generals' names off of military establishments, Skip, but right now, we need more substance than symbols. And while these symbolic gestures may placate some, it's not nearly enough. You see, Skip, they say, what's important to you? And we're starting to see these things that are important to you is becoming distracting from the greater view of things. It is so, I am so proud of the NBA players, Skip. I'm so proud of them. But this is not what they signed up for. A lot of these guys worked their entire lives to be in this position. We don't know if and when who will get back to the playoffs, Skip. This might be the one shining moment. And they were willing to sacrifice it. This is not a preseason, Skip. This is not an exhibition. They put a hold to the playoffs. And for LeBron James and the Lakers and Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers say, we'll bounce. We're real about this. For the first time, Skip, you threatened. I heard George Hill. I was like, and I'm saying to myself, Skip, I said, I don't know if they really do that, Skip. I mean, they're already down there. But there are some players that say, yeah, we absolutely will. And LeBron James says, I want these owners to take more ownership of this. You say you care about us. You say you care about these issues. Now we want you to put your money where your mouth is. We want to see no more lip service, no more symbols, substance.
Yep.